Good afternoon everybody, and very warm welcome to another live Instagram drive with us. We're really looking forward to spending time out with you in the afternoon. It's such a lovely time of the year. The light this time of the afternoon is so fantastic. Just a couple of things before we get going. Firstly, we really want to thank all of you for some of your wonderful comments. We really feel so honored that on Monday afternoons we're making a difference to a lot of your guys' lives during this tough time. We love doing it. As you know, for those who have met us, we love what we do out here, and we always want to enjoy ourselves out here. So thank you very much. Keep the comments coming, and we're really glad that we're making a difference for you guys at home. Just a couple of things again before we head out. Please, if there's any questions or anything you would like to ask, please go ahead. Just remember, when we do change over to our other team of Ryan, Brandon and Tom, just either rejoin or just stay with us. There's often just a slight delay, but please stay with us. Between the two teams, we're obviously trying to get around and see as much as we can. So before we get going, we've got a bit of a plan this afternoon. I just need to find my tracker quickly. Stewie? Stewie, we live, buddy. We need to get going. Sorry. Sorry about that. No, we know Stewie always goes the extra mile, but makeup really. So yes, Stewie's tracking for me this afternoon. We've got Brad on the camera, and Janine is the makeup artist to try smarten Stewie up a little bit. So we're up in the Riverine area this afternoon, and some of you may recognize the lovely sycamore fig to my right, but the river crossing called Kiri Crossing that we're going to cross. And for some of you may know, this river has captured some of these vehicles and created a little bit of fun. So if you got,
I've been barefoot in this water a few times, jacking up the back of the landy and trying to get ourselves unstuck, but it's all in the name of good fun.
So if you guys give me a thumbs up, I'll either go full speed and wet Stuart, or if you like Stewie, I'll go slowly. But Brad will let me know what you decide.
Let's see.
That might just mess with my makeup.
Makeup artist needs a bigger brush.
Wow.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
I tried. So guys, to let you in on what our plans are this afternoon, the team and I we've had a great morning tracking Thlangisa and following up on a few things. We were quite keen to follow up on Thlangisa because this last week we haven't seen her much. We tracked her the other day without success, and this morning we were lucky enough to put the puzzle together, and we managed to track her into a block, and she's got a kill there, so we're going to head in there and see what we can find, and hopefully we get some nice viewing for you.
Quite a few hyena tracks up and down here, so looks like they may have been attracted to that kill that you mentioned, Trev.
Yeah. Often, you know, when we're tracking, especially leopards, you know, there's often a hyena track around it. Opportunistic scavengers as well as predators, often following leopards, wild dogs, sometimes the lions. They're always looking for an opportunity. So we'll see when we get in there.
Lovely colours on these Tambuti trees this time of the year. They're just starting to turn, and you've got this flame red colour juxtaposed against the green of these Tambuti trees. There's quite a dense thicket in here, so it's going to be a bit tricky to manoeuvre in, but we'll do our best.
changes this time of the year. Such a beautiful afternoons, lovely color changes. Alright guys, so on our left hand side here, when Brad pans it, you can see how thick it is. So Stewie's going to guide us in here, and most importantly, don't forget to duck. Often when we drive off-road, it's so important to listen to your tracker so that we don't drive over any sensitive tree species, or in this case, you know, it's dry this time of the year, you've got to watch out for mud and that.
See here?
You always want to be...
Those on the left, just watch out on the left there, guys. Okay. A little bit of Uma. Yeah.
First rule as a guide, never drive your tracker into a thicket. Doesn't go down well.
Especially not that, that's the Tambuti again, and they have that white milky latex that exudes if you break a twig or a leaf, and if that gets into an open wound or into your eyes or any mucus cavity, then that's going to burn and sting and itch for a long time. You're going to be in a bit of pain, so try and avoid those trees as much as we can.
Up ahead here, as we go in here, there's a hyena, which is always and commonly found near leopard hills, possibly at the base of the tree. The tree at the back there, she was in there shortly. We're going to see if we can find her here.
One, yep, youngsters there.
Can you see, Stu?
Yeah, youngsters there.
You may have heard all the birds alarm calling on this side. There's a good chance that Mom came down the tree and has possibly gone to drink water, but if you guys can see, one of the cubs is on the kill in the tree here, with her two cubs. One's a male, one's a female, and we've noticed that the female is not as shy as the male. There's a chance that with the hyenas being around, that perhaps the other cub was treed somewhere else. Situations like this with hyenas around that are always threat to the cub, we always try be as sensitive as possible, so we won't go crashing around looking for the other one. I'm sure it's in a safe place somewhere, and I've got a feeling Mom has come down and possibly headed off to maybe drink some water, and you can see the little one up there with looks like an impala killed up in the tree. So that cub is perfect. It's perfectly safe from the hyenas. It's got meat. We'll see where Mom perhaps went.
Possibly, yeah, those francolins as we came in, there was a hyena that was moving around, but yeah, and another hyena behind us. So it's quite possible that she's come down and moved off to the west here too.
Yeah, it sounded like the birds were alarm calling that side, which is often an indication.
What's interesting with that situation there is that the hyenas wouldn't really bother her too much if she did want to come down. They won't really bite the hand that feeds, so to speak. So if she returns and starts feeding on the kill, often bits will fall down, and that's the whole reason why the hyenas are here in the first place. So they're just going to hang around, I presume, and wait for her to return and come up the tree to join her cub, and then if they do start feeding again, then the hyenas are going to have a meal tonight.
Quite a tricky position where the kill is.
The cub is looking to our south here from where we heard the alarm calls of the bird, so maybe mom's headed in that direction. You know, we never really want to view the cubs without mom's presence, just in case it comes down and mom's not here to protect it. But for now, mom's in the little one is in a safe place on the kill. Perhaps what we'll do, we'll maybe take a little drive south of us here through the thickets. Hopefully we can get a nice view of mom. But as you can see, this young female cub, she's doing really well. Got a nice full belly and in a very safe place. We'll keep you updated if we can find the second one, but like I was saying, it's important for us to be very sensitive towards these situations, especially if when there's hyenas around and other predators. We never want to be or cause a problem if we are in a sighting. Alright, so we're going to let it be. We're going to reverse out and see if we can follow up on those alarm calls to check that it's mom.
Yeah, right hand down there, Trev.
Thanks.
And then now you can straighten up a bit.
Okay.
This hyena is still lurking. Okay, right hand down.
Very nice view of a spotted hyena here. Take note how big their nostrils are. If it turns, you may be able to see. Very, very powerful animal, the hyena, and nicknamed also the laughing hyena. Often the confrontations, hyenas are fighting. They make a loud cackling sound that sounds like they are laughing. And the spots down the sides give it the name the spotted hyena. Females actually bigger than the males within the clan and more dominant. But with their phenomenal smell and good hearing, often when leopards make a kill, they may hear it, they may smell it, and then opportunistically come and steal it. Hyenas do have the ability to hunt as well. They have incredibly good endurance. So in areas where possibly there's other apex predators to scavenge from, they will possibly do more scavenging than hunting, and areas where there's less apex predators, they might do more of the hunting. Alright, let's go see if we can find mom quickly. Watch the branches they go.
Fully grown adults, and then there were three, so a juvenile or two juveniles and a fully grown adult there.
That goes to, we'll go out and down the road.
Go out the same way, I think.
Maybe
It's going to be easier.
drink water.
Yeah. If she was going west, she might come down towards the crossing that we were just at.
Right.
Often after a heavy meal or quite a substantial feed,
Gone to the river.
she will look to come down and head off for water. Just like that, Trev.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, right hand down. Yeah, straighten up. Right hand down. Yeah. And then out here.
Thanks, sorry, Stu.
There we go. Okay. Good. You alright in the back?
All good.
Let's watch that dip again. Good.
You can see when we're not too far from the river, think Mom's been kept up there the whole day, so perhaps she'll want to go have a drink of water and stretch her legs a bit. It's quite an awkward tree to be stuck in with the hyenas below you, but maybe she's made a little gap for it. And let's hope she goes down to the river. It'll be beautiful to see if she drinks.
You get quite a lot of fluid from their kills, blood and what have you, but they obviously do need to supplement that with a good drink from time to time, and like Trevor said, after a long meal is a very good time to do that. Let's see if we've got any sign of it coming out on the road.
Such a beautiful spot in the Sand River. We'll wait here a few minutes. If she's going to come out down to the river to drink, she's going to come out from this area over here. We'll give her a few minutes if that is her plan. Sometimes we try sort of predict what they're going to do, but maybe she just got out the tree and lay a little bit further away. We're not sure. Let's give it a few minutes. It'll be really worthwhile. It's such a beautiful scene down here at the river. If she does come down here to drink, like I said, we'll give it a few minutes. We'll hand over to you. Thlangisa's left at Bamba, so SOPs, we're not going to stay there. Maybe we'll call if we get her again and come back to us maybe. Yeah, I'll give you a call in 2 seconds. Folks, what I think we're going to do, while we've got such wonderful light, Ryan and the guys are up in the crest with a little surprise for you guys. So we're going to hand over to them now. Remember just to rejoin or stay. And if we do manage to find Thlangisa again coming back here, we'll bring them back so you guys can get another view. So we're going to hand over now and enjoy the last bit of light. Okay, Ryan, you can go live.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another sofa safari. I'm Ryan. This is Tom. And we've got Brandon.
Afternoon, guys.
On our camera this afternoon. And you might already see them, or at least hear them, but we're surrounded by a huge herd of elephants. So we're going to get you guys into a little bit of a better position, and we're going to see if we can have a look at these guys. Right, so you can see the herd is spread out all over the show. We've been following them for most of the afternoon and it seems to be the trend.
Tiny baby, yeah, guys. That's awesome.
There you go.
Beautiful.
One thing we have seen is there's been quite a few bulls, young males, older males following the herd, and so all the ladies are a little bit more worried and stressed than they usually are. What you can also see in the background is Rock Lodge once again, up on the hill there.
Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous scene here, guys. Just once again, you know, with this golden hour, we always talk about it. You know, many of you who have been here with us before, you'll know that we absolutely love this time, and you would have felt this energy at some stage. Also, it's just honestly one of the best times to be out here, and it enriches absolutely everything. So we're sitting here up on this beautiful crest, surrounded by this herd of ellies. I think we had about 30 odd initially. So we couldn't be happier right now, and you know, just once again so happy to be sharing this with all of you guys wherever you are.
Let's see if we can move around.
Yeah, let's pull forward a bit. Back to the layer. Have some more coming out that side wide. Just we won't be able to see it on camera, but maybe for future I see some matuan.
Give them a minute or two,
Yeah.
and then we'll swing around and see if they've also come out of the thicket there for us.
So a nice question, guys. Do elephants feel vibration through their feet from miles away as far as communication goes?
With regards to the elephant communication, it's quite an interesting thing. They have found that they can pick up vibrations with both the feet and the trunk, remembering that the sensory cells in both their feet and their trunks are incredible. When we look at the foot of an elephant, we all see a massive stump, a big thick leg, and we often forget to look at the skeleton where the elephants walk on their tippy toes. And there's a huge muscular pad underneath the foot that helps absorb the weight but also pick up those vibrations. Right. With elephants though, their main way of communicating would be their low frequency rumbles, rumbles that we can't hear, and we reckon as much as 90% of elephant communication is in low frequency that we can't pick up. Now, with regards to animals in low frequency, the time of day that it is most effective is now, in the evening and the early hours of the morning. And the reason for that is animals like elephants and lions that use that long distance, low frequency communication use inversion layers to bounce those low frequency sounds further. Now in the heat of the day where there's no inversion layer and an elephant calls, the sound will simply disapparate. Where if there's an inversion layer, what it can do is it can bounce those sounds between the ground and the inversion layer and spread them out further. So to answer your question, yes, they can use their feet, but a little bit more as to what they can use and do use. Should we go? Have a look.
those other ones there.
Yeah, should we go?
Because there's some coming up to gate 2, gate 3, so let's
go have a
maybe
look.
give that a shot.
Alright, far and just see if some of more of the herd is coming out into the open for us. Very nice.
Maybe they'll be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah. Monday afternoon traffic.
Another question, guys. Do the females of the herd group together for life?
So generally, when we start talking about the kind of social structure or social dynamic with these elephants, at this stage we are sitting with a breeding herd, which is generally female dominated. So some of the larger individuals that we would have been seeing initially would have been females, the matriarchs, and generally we do tend to see a kind of trend where females that are born into a herd tend to stay with that herd for life. There have been recorded occasions of females definitely splitting off and going their own way, but for the most part a lot of these elephants are interconnected, and they do know one another, and they have quite in-depth history with one another in the region. So yeah, it is very intricate, the elephant kind of social system, but this is a female dominated breeding herd that we're sitting with at this stage.
Let's try sneak a little bit forward.
Yeah.
They're out the way. You guys have also noticed the sunset that is happening just to the left of Tom's shoulder there. Beautiful sunset.
We tend to see with some of these breeding herds, they tend to be fairly nomadic, probably one of the last true kind of nomads of this region within South Africa. Constantly in search of kind of the best feeding and best forage and water for the herd, and often, of course, going back to that matriarch position, it is her that leads the group. So it's vital that she's got a really good kind of knowledge of her region, a local knowledge that's passed down from matriarch to matriarch. So just as you sit here with them, you can sense that these are just wanderers just passing by. So just, you know, humbled to be in their presence at this stage.
Approximately how many do you have in the herd? In this herd?
This herd, I think we're roughly 30 odd, but as you guys can see, fairly dense bush here around us. So it can be quite difficult to estimate. There is a specific matriarch that's been kind of grouped with this herd that we have noticed. We actually saw her this morning, and we've seen her with as many as I think 50, 60 other elephants. So we do see, you know, family groups, individual matriarchs bringing their families together, and that can be quite dynamic and can fluctuate quite frequently. But at this stage we would say maybe 30 odd, and as we say, quite difficult to see with this fairly dense bush.
Alright guys, we've got a call from Trev and the chaps, and they've managed to locate on Thlangisa. So I'm going to give him a shout, and what we're going to do is we're going to cross over to Trev, and you guys can have a look.
guys. So we did manage to pick up her tracks. She did come out of the block there as we thought, and she angled towards the river, but then she deviated and we picked up on her here. So she's just in front of us now. Followed her tracks for a little while and caught up with her. Does look like she's going into a bit of a tricky spot for us, but we're going to try and maintain a visual as long as we can, and maybe we'll pick her up on the other side of this rocky section.
We're thinking she's heading back to the area where perhaps the second cub is. We noticed there was only just the one. She's heading back to where we had tracks this morning of them together. We're going to try go around. Let's try and get a view.
Is she drinking there? Let's see if we can get her.
She's busy drinking water there. Beautiful sight there. The sunset and the leopard drinking. Okay. Go forward, Sid.
You can go, yeah. Come this side. Yep. Angle yourself this way. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. I think she put her head up there because often when they're down drinking out of a puddle, they've obviously lost visibility around them. So she's using her sense of hearing, and she can pick up on the monkeys that have started alarm calling in the tree. So they've probably caught sight of her as she came across the open sand here, and you can hear them chirping and chattering away.
Question, why are the cubs separated, Trev?
It's been interesting since we've been able to find these cubs. The first time as well, we've seen that the female seems less shy and the little male seems quite nervous. Not necessarily of us, but just by nature. And on 2 occasions now we've seen it where she takes the one cub and then fetches the other. So we'll see. We also, in that week and a bit that we hadn't seen her, she had moved quite a bit. Unless that other one is still there and she just come for water, trying to drink in more of a secretive spot instead of being exposed along the river where we were a little bit earlier. You can see now it's very dense and she's got a nice clean little puddle, and you can potentially hear how quickly the monkeys picked her up. The thing with the monkeys calling now, other predators might react to it. Lions, hyenas, perhaps other leopards as well. We're hoping now with a bit of spotlight there it's improved for you guys. But such a pretty sighting of sunset and a beautiful female leopard drinking water. As we were mentioning a bit earlier, she was stuck in that tree with hyenas at the bottom for most of the day in that heat and a little bit uncomfortable, so a nice long drink to quench her thirst. So the cub's still suckling, that's why she feels quite safe to leave it back there up in the tree, and she won't risk bringing it out the tree to expose it to danger. So she's capable on her own, where the little one she doesn't want to expose.
Nice long drinks. Take them when they can. It's interesting the way they do drink. They actually curl their tongue and they bring a lap of water each time up in that curl of the tongue up into the palate.
She's starting to move now.
Might be able to get a view of her if we try and get up and around her. Give that a go. Yeah, straight back, you're good. A little bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right hand down. Other way. Right hand. Yep, and now left hand down. Good. All the way, swing. 100%. Either way, you want to go.
Sounds like she's in the open there now. The monkeys are really shouting. Get up round that side now.
Might get onto Kiwi West.
Yeah, let's see if she comes out there. There she is.
That prominent white tip on her tail.
Amazing.
And you can see quite visible when she arcs that tail up over her back. It's just a sign that she's not really interested in hunting, so she's making herself visible. She just doesn't want to be harassed and bothered by birds or monkeys in this case, whatever it is.
I'm going to switch off for you. You can hear these vervet monkeys shouting.
It's always an exciting sound for us because then we know something's up.
Let's try to get a walk by.
There's a llama or a bushbuck in front of her.
There it goes.
Yeah.
I'm going to try going through there just to give her enough space. Get a nice walk by. See in her lower abdominal area there how her mammary glands are still very full of milk. You can see she's still lactating. She'll suckle those cubs for a good 6 months, sometimes 7 months. So I think she's definitely going back towards the river to perhaps look for the other cub. As you know, in nature we never know, what's happened. We've obviously always got to be very sensitive about what we do. Let's follow a little bit longer. We haven't heard her calling yet, but let's see. Stewie and I are quite excited because this is the area we walked this morning to try find her, and she's actually using that path we tracked her from where she walked last night.
There's still one more option for us up here. Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Down below us right now.
Okay.
Come to here.
Okay. There's a little spot there, Stu.
Yeah.
Stewie's got her over there on my right hand side. She's heading sort of to the middle of the river. She's going to walk in the front of us here. Hopefully you guys will get another view. You may see the spotlight there that Stewie's putting on her. Being a nocturnal animal, it's perfectly fine to put the spotlight on her. We would never spotlight a diurnal animal. She's got the right type of eyes to handle the spotlight. You can see by her behavior she's not reacting negatively to the light at all.
I did hear one little soft call just before she ducked down toward the reeds there. She wasn't too far away from here the last time we saw her. maybe she is on the search for that other cub. Maybe they have got separated and he's coming back to the area to give it one last look. Wait and see.
I think the area she's heading now, we would need a tank, not a Land Rover, unfortunately. But she's heading over a nice big boulder there. We'll see. Let's see, Stewie, can we get down there?
We have to go down here. She's disappearing on the other side of the rock.
And I think let's play it safe.
Yeah, that's all she wrote from this angle here.
So folks, I think just with the direction that she's heading, we're not going to get a vehicle there, and obviously fairly sensitive with the cub situation. So we'll let her be. We'll be able to update you if she does find the second one. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks again for all the wonderful comments. Have a wonderful week and keep safe. We look forward to you. Watch the guys on Wednesday out of Mahali, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much. God bless.
Cheers everybody.